Pregnancy is such a wonderful and beautiful miracle, but for some women, it is not a time in their life that they enjoy, and I am definitely one of those women. Pregnancy has always been a great trial for me, and I struggle with a lot of morning sickness, food aversions, a huge drop in energy. Over the past few months, my husband has had to really do so much around the house. I really wanted to surprise him today by cleaning up the whole house and getting a big meal fixed up. I've been feeling all the fall vibes lately, so I really wanted to make some potato soup, chili, biscuits, apple pie, and just give the house that warm, cozy vibe that he is not used to coming home to. I'm so grateful for everything he does for us, and it's definitely needed as I've been very much bedridden so much of the first trimester with my morning sickness. But I was really excited to kind of go back to my roots and actually have the house clean and food cooked for him. And overall, I've been definitely feeling more energy lately as I'm in the second trimester. I started out the day by cleaning up the kitchen and then working on my batch of chili. My 2-year-old and 4-year-old boys are actually obsessed with chili and eat this almost every day until they get tired of it, and then we move on to something new. But they really love this and we make it quite often, so I actually don't follow a recipe. I like to throw together some ground beef, onions, tomato sauce. I actually make my own chili seasoning and we were out of it. Chili seasoning is so easy to make. I will be including the recipe for that down below in the description box, and I'll include as many recipes as I can. But like I said, the chili I just make from scratch. We eat chili so much in this house, and again, my kids really love it. So if they love it, I'm gonna make it. It's such a good, healthy, quick, and cheap meal. I threw in some fresh garlic and some chicken broth. I like to let my chili simmer for a really long time.
Okay, time for some honesty. It is currently almost 2 p.m. and honestly, I don't really know how productive I've been today. I feel like I've been very productive compared to what I have been most of this pregnancy, but I'm very unproductive compared to what I am when I'm not pregnant. When I'm not pregnant, I can get so much done. I'm such a great multitasker. I have so much energy. I push myself to just get everything done. And when I'm pregnant, the complete opposite is true. I feel like I'm working and cleaning nonstop, and I look around and the house is just as bad as when I began. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, where I'm just like, oh my gosh. So like I said, it's almost 2 o'clock. So far I've cleaned the house a little, spent time with the boys, and made a pot of chili. But we're gonna get started on apple pie bars and potato soup next, and then we're gonna clean the living room. We're gonna clean up the kitchen when it's done. But really quick, I did wanna talk about Araza Beauty. This video is not sponsored in any way, but I am wearing Araza Beauty makeup right now. They are my favorite makeup brand because the makeup is made with all natural ingredients. It's actually made with healing ingredients. I'm gonna include the link in the description box below, and I'm also gonna have my code for the flash sale, which is 20% off for the next 4 days only. By the time this video is uploaded, it's probably only gonna be good for the next like 2 days. And if it's past the sale, you can always use my code LizDaily, and I think you get 10 to 15% off. I love Araza Beauty. I know a lot of other people that use Araza Beauty. The ingredients are all natural, non-toxic, organic, and healing. And they definitely are, and I know this because any other full coverage concealer that I wear breaks me out horribly. But this one does not. I actually wore it for a week straight just to test it out one time, and it still did not make me break out, which was awesome. Especially with pregnancy, I'm already getting some hormonal acne here and there, so it's nice not having to worry about my makeup also breaking me out. Makeup also doubles as the best SPF coverage, so I'll put it on my face and my neck when I go to the beach. And if I'm not gonna see anyone, don't plan on taking pictures, whatever, I just put it on because it's great coverage and I don't have to worry about putting sunscreen on. And I hate wearing sunscreen because sunscreen always just feels really gross to me. And again, it often breaks me out. The natural ones are usually really sticky. I just have had a problem finding a natural brand that I really like. Definitely check it out. See if you can still be a part of that flash sale for 20% off by using my code LIZ20. And if not, use my code LizDaily and you can still get a discount. Let's get back to cleaning and cooking. I'm gonna try to put a little pep in my step. Even though I have no pep in my step,
It was time to move on to making apple pie, which I was really excited about because this is something I really craved in my first trimester as I lay in bed, not able to stomach anything and not able to get out of bed long enough to make anything from scratch. So I was really excited to make this, and I knew my husband was gonna love it. I knew we would have leftovers so he could have it for breakfast the next morning with some coffee. I love making apple pies, but I will let you in on a little secret. And I mean, I don't make apple pie that often, but I feel like often enough that they shouldn't turn out as ugly as they do. But yeah, that's my secret. My apple pies are always ugly. So if you make ugly apple pies, don't feel bad about yourself. I don't know how other people make them look so good. I do think I tend to make my crust extra dry and crumbly. I just love that texture and taste of a really buttery, crumbly apple pie crust. But it's definitely a lot harder to make a pretty pie crust when it's so dry. I used the recipe from Brittany Lupton. I'm going to include that recipe in the description box below. I did use half butter and half shortening instead of all shortening, and I really liked how that turned out, and I thought it was really delicious. Another thing I loved about this recipe, and another thing that just made it so perfect for the busy mom, is it had very minimal ingredients, but it still turned out tasting absolutely amazing. So I really loved that, and I loved how simple and easy the whole process kind of was. Once I had mixed together the pie crust dough, I let that chill in the fridge for about an hour or two, but for the sake of the video, I'm just putting all the clips together. So as you can see here, I didn't have a regular pie dish. I actually don't even own one, I don't think. I think I got rid of it a couple years ago because I realized I just never really used it. We don't really make pie that often, but apple pie is definitely my favorite. Instead of using Granny Smith apples, I actually used Pink Lady apples, and I definitely recommend trying that out. They're very tart, very much like Granny Smith, and they're also very crisp, but they have a little more flavor, so try that sometime, see what you think. I absolutely love how they turned out. I do think I could have used a few more apples, and they were kind of on the small side, so I already kind of knew that, but I kind of misjudged that one, so next time I'll definitely add a few more. Once the apple pie was done, it was time to start on the potato soup. So I went ahead and snipped up the bacon with scissors before I added it, which actually turned out really well. Then instead of sauteing my onions in butter, I sauteed them in bacon grease, and I left extra bacon grease because this is going to add so much flavor to your potato soup. Next, I added that garlic and I let that simmer. Then you're gonna go ahead and start on the roux. I'm going to include the potato soup in the description box below, the recipe that is. You can find the absolute best fall recipes on Pinterest. Every fall, I always go to Pinterest and I just look up fall recipes, and you'll find so many good ones, but this is definitely my favorite potato soup. I ended up adding way too many potatoes, and I'm definitely gonna be adding to the soup later today and just adding more onions, more milk, more everything, because the potato to soup ratio is definitely off.
Okay, so my husband just called me and he was like, hey babe, because like I said before, he's coming home for the weekend, so he's gonna be home for the next couple days. And so he just called me and he was like, hey babe, you know, I'm gonna be home early, I'm gonna be home soon, which I still have stuff to do. But he's like, I'm gonna be home soon, whatever you want for dinner, I'll buy it for you or I'll cook it for you. So I kind of had to give away the surprise a little bit. Don't mind the mess in the background. Oh my gosh, we're gonna work on that. We have a couple hours left. So I had to let go of the surprise a little bit and tell him there is dinner waiting, but he doesn't know what, and he doesn't know how clean the house is, which, okay, it's not that clean, but it's getting there. Looking around, it's like, okay, I didn't do that much, but compared to how messy it was, it looks really good. I mean, you guys saw how messy it was, and I didn't even show you everything. I've been cleaning up the hallways, I've been cleaning up the bathroom, I've just been kind of cleaning up around the house, and yes, it is disgusting right now. Yes, it is embarrassing right now, but that's how things go when I'm pregnant. It's been like this with every pregnancy. I'm so sick, so tired, so nauseous, so everything. I literally can't keep up with the house. And I've gotten to the point where I don't really stress about it. I mean, I do stress about it, but at the same time, I accept it. It's the stage of life I'm in. It's all for the growth of the family. I'm literally growing the family. So I can't do it all. Some people can, I can't. So I do my very best, but I'm not gonna beat myself up that I can't keep everything perfectly done. So that's where we're at. But yeah, let's go ahead, finish cleaning the rest of the house. The kitchen definitely has some work, but it's not as bad as it looks. This is pretty cleaned up. Then here in the oven, we've got the apple pie, that's almost done. We've got the potato soup, we just need some milk, and I wanna make some drop biscuits. We'll need milk for that as well. And the chili is done. So everything's coming along really well. I'm so excited, so happy. It feels so nice to be back and be me. And I know this is gonna go away soon because the third trimester is so hard, as everyone knows. So the second trimester is just kind of that short, magical little period of pregnancy where I actually get something done. First trimester, third trimester. Not only has my husband not come home to a clean house in over 3 months, he also has not come home to a big fancy dinner. I can't even remember how long. It's been a while. Between my 2 miscarriages, between the move and me getting pregnant again, I have not been able to do what I used to do, and he's okay with that. My husband gets it. He knows what I do every day. But it's gonna be really fun today to just kind of be like that cute little newlywed wife that I used to be, that always had the house so perfectly clean and always had these big fancy meals ready. I'm so excited and I love him so much and he deserves this, so I can't wait.
It was time to clean the kitchen again, even though I had already cleaned it this morning, but after all this cooking, there was definitely a big mess, and as you can kind of see from what I show you around the house, we're definitely behind on a lot of things. As I mentioned before, I've been struggling with a lot of morning sickness. In the first trimester, it was bad enough that it literally made me bedridden. Now I'm at the point where I can be out of bed more, I can eat more foods, I can eat more protein, but even so, it's definitely taking me a while to get back to normal and get back to normal energy levels. However, we're slowly getting there, and I've also just learned to embrace every stage of life and know that pregnancy is not my stage in life to be super productive and get things done all the time. And I just have to be okay with that and just know that it's all going to be worth it in the end, which I know it will be. I've also really been working on having my toddlers help me clean up and do chores around the house. I have 2 boys, 4 and 2. The 2-year-old was napping in this clip, but I've been really having them help me more around the house. Definitely true when they say that it slows you down instead of helping you when your kids are, helping clean. But it's nice seeing them be able to help more and more without constant promptings, especially the 4-year-old. So it's definitely worth it, and I know in the long run it's a good thing.
Jacob, what do you got? A snake! Ah! Go get Dad. Ow. Go get Dad.
Ah! Bang! Bang, bang, bang.
Daddy, that snake does never die.
The snake doesn't die?
Let's start checking.
Ah! Bang!
It never dies, Daddy.
I hate this. I hate pregnancy hormones sometimes so. It's a little bit later in the evening. I'm at Aldi. Of course, I will get emotional and literally start crying right before I have to walk into the store. So I have a 15-minute drive to go to Aldi, and heading over here, and I was just thinking about how nice it was. My husband was even more happy about the meal and the clean house than I even thought he was gonna be. But I think, because to me, I just see everything I didn't do, all the cleaning I didn't do, the things I could have added to the meal that I didn't have time for. And I think he just saw the effort I put in, and he was so grateful, and that was really sweet. And part of me was driving here thinking, what happened? I used to do this all the time. And then I realized life happens, and we've been married for almost 6 years. Where has the time gone? But also, I don't miss
those newlywed days. I look back at them fondly, but we're in a new, beautiful stage of life, and every stage of life and every stage of our marriage has been so beautiful. I'm so grateful for the life we have now. I'm so grateful we got to move to Florida and be able to go to the beach whenever we want and have warm weather year round, and it just reminds me that every stage of life is so different, but it's so beautiful, and every stage of life I look back so fondly, and I have such amazing memories, and I know someday I'm gonna look back at this stage of life and miss having babies and kids at home and the love and the joy that we have when we sit around the table and eat soup together. So anyway, that's just my thoughts for the day, and I'm having a meltdown in the car and I have to go inside Aldi. I hate crying, but this is just my new hobby at this point in pregnancy. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will see you in the next one. Probably won't be as productive. Probably will be just as emotional. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.